Hey everybody, AcedTyler here. Welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. In the last episode, we tried to go through this ridiculously rigged trial by trying to prove Alice's innocence, but then she just disappeared, and I don't know where she could have gone. In this episode, we are going to do some more things over in Wonderland and hopefully try to finish them. But first things first, though, we have a mechanic here. We have some new interesting Heartless here. We saw this before over in Traverse Town, but we couldn't do anything about them because the reason being is because, well, we need magic like I'm doing right now. These are the white mushrooms, and white mushrooms, unlike all the other Heartless, they are actually not very hostile at all. They are actually rather friendly, and so they provide some challenges for you. So what you have to do with those white mushrooms there is that you don't necessarily, you actually can't really attack them though, because if you swipe them or just whack them with a keyblade, they will throw temper tantrums at you and call you out for actually attacking them. They're like, you little shit, that's not how you do it. So what you gotta do here is that you have to pay close attention to their gestures, and so based on their gestures, you have to use the right magic on them there, and like what you gotta do though is that, I mean, you can actually do them in whichever order, but if you want to get like the proper rewards for it, you have to do the same kind of magic all straight in a row. So what I did for the last one was that I used the fire magic on them from their gestures, and what I'm doing now is using the blizzard. Like based on what they do is, and then if you use the magic on them in the right way, they will reward you with not only some synthesis materials, but they'll also give you the arts, or the magic arts that we'll probably be needing those for something, of course. And so basically to explain how their gestures work is that if you see the white mushrooms shivering, like you see the shivering animation. I can't speak today. I'm so sorry, folks. That's the indication that you have to use the fire magic when you see them shivering. And so if you want to get the proper arts or the fire arts, for instance, then make sure you have to do that 3 times in a row, or use a fire magic 3 times in a row rather. And so you just have to wait until you actually see the animation. It's actually a matter of patience to see this certain animation they will do. And so if you see them fanning themselves with their hands because of how hard it'd be, then that's when you use the blizzard magic. So just again, this cooldown, that's where you get the blizzard arts. And there's some other arts that we can get, like the other animations that we have, but we don't have the magic for them just yet though. Because if you actually did see them with this light above their heads, then that's actually when we had to use the thunder magic. But we don't have the thunder magic at the moment. So that is that'll have to be saved for much later. And there's some other animations for other kinds of magic that they'll be using that we can do. But for now, that's actually that won't be until much later on in this game that we'll have to they'll be doing that. But yeah, that's basically the whole mechanic with all the white mushrooms, or these mushroom kind of heartless. There's actually different variants for those for the mushrooms. But of course, those are the ones we'll be seeing later on. But yeah, that's basically how those white mushrooms work. So yeah, like I said though, I mean, you can actually just well, it is possible to actually use a different kind of magic for their different animations, but you're gonna want to make sure to use the same one on the 3 times in a row. And so you just have to wait till you see the animation, and it can be rather tricky as well because like. Whenever I see the white mushrooms and I try to use those magic or use a kind of magic on them, somehow though, like based on their animation, I get this like sudden urge to actually just push the button for the magic, even though it's probably going to be the wrong one though, because yeah, you want to make sure you don't want to select the wrong kind of magic. Otherwise, you'll actually fail this kind of challenge. And they're all back. Which, of course, I'm going to ignore because I already got the arts for the magic. But yeah, just make sure like you just want to resist your thumb there because honest to God, folks, I tend to do that. That's one of my that's one of my problems, that like I just get a sudden urge to actually just suddenly press a button once it's in the ready when it's actually not the right animation for it. So yeah, all you have to do is just just make sure you keep yourself in control, and you have to have the patience as well until you see the right animation for it. Not only that though, but you also get a bunch of like after you use up your some of your magic, and of course and before it actually gets depleted, especially with how magic I have right now in the meter, they actually do give you a bunch of the magic orbs back, so that you actually regather them. and that way there you actually fill them up, just in case we have to do all this again. So there we have it.
See ya.
Anyways, yeah, there's like I said, there's gonna be a lot more to do in Wonderland before we finish up this world, because all that's left is basically the boss of this world. I'm actually looking over my journal. Yeah, this is actually where you're gonna see the see however many Dalmatians you have, and also the Trinities. Like this is actually one thing about Jiminy's journal they can look at, is they can actually just look at the number of Dalmatians you've collected, and also the Trinities that you've activated. And basically it'll tell you how many that you needed, or how many you have left. Like based on like for each category of the world. And also I kind of cut theirs because I had to check to see if I already got that one chest there, because I thought there was gonna be more Dalmatians, but we actually got the 2 chests containing the Dalmatians at the moment. There's actually 2 more in this world, but we won't be able to get those Dalmatians until later on. Like once we have the right abilities for them. So we'll just have to not worry about that for now. Like this is actually one of those things where like I had to make perfectly sure that I had to double check to make sure I got everything. Like, okay, did I get all the things I needed? Because like I said, like I probably could be doing 100% for this. Like basically just because I want to make sure that I want to do this Let's Play by getting every single one of the Dalmatians and every single one of the Trinities. So I guess just about as close as to doing a 100% completion for this game, even though there's quite a lot they had to do to 100% this one, especially since I'm playing a Final Mix where there's a lot more to it, especially compared to the original. But yeah, that's actually what I honestly do plan for this LP, is that just to making sure I get everything, like all the Dalmatians and all the Trinities. So every there I can just show off all the rewards for it. And you know, if to those of you who would be using this Let's Play as a guide, then I do want to make sure that I would show off all the Dalmatians locations and and also locations for the Trinities. And we just got ourselves a defense up. Yeah, any one of those stat enhancers like the AP, HP, or defense or attack. You always want to make sure that you give those to Sora, because yeah, especially since Sora is basically the main focus, like you know, being you know the protagonist and the main character you're playing as, and you're gonna want to make sure you upgrade those stats, and not so much with Donald and Goofy though, especially considering they're your backup support. But yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about Donald and Goofy. Well, especially not in Donald's case, being the useless fuck that he is, useless fuck duck. Useless duck. He gives no ducks. Okay, I don't know why that just came across there. I mean, I'm sure everybody else just using that kind of a thing there. Anyhow, yeah, I think I did get that one chest that was over there, but it was kind of high up. Yeah, I thought of just going over that platform, but I wasn't able to. But I wasn't really able to reach that there. Yeah, what you just saw was that I actually activated this painting. You can actually go inside of it though, but we don't really have the kind of we actually don't have thunder magic, and we're gonna need that one because there's actually one more. There's another chest containing the Dalmatians, but we can't really get that until we've gotten the thunder magic. So that's gonna have to be until later. And I don't think I've ever mentioned this as well, but oh wow! Actually, I actually shot all the red nocturnes all at once using my blizzard magic. That's actually real nice. Anyway, damn, I lost my train of thought. Well, I think it was about oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, I never got to mention this, but I actually set the camera angles back to automatic. Because because I know I initially did set it to manual, but I decided to set it to automatic because I feel like it's actually going to be easier to utilize for the manual, because especially one thing about this game that kind of didn't age well is the camera angle. Like the camera angle can get a little bit wonky at times. So that's I mean, granted though, it was kind of the problem with the earlier games, like especially with the N64 games, like Mario 64. Like, you know, even though, like, you know, Mario 64 is definitely without a doubt a fantastic game. The biggest problem about it is, of course, the camera control, but that's the same with all the other N64 games. But I'll have to say though, this is actually one thing that that Final Mix, or actually, well, I'm not sure if it was the case for the original Final Mix on the on the PS2 that was Japan exclusive, but I guess I'd be talking more about the in 1.5 HD remix for this version here. One thing that I'm so glad about that they fixed is that is the camera controls, because in Vanilla KH1, the camera is actually mapped to the L1 and R1 buttons, or was it the L2 and R2 buttons? I don't remember, but either one of those, yeah, those the camera is mapped to those buttons, and the right analog stick is just for selecting the or just using the command menu. And so, because of that, then the camera controls in Vanilla KH1 did not age well at all, and so that's what it would give me so much trouble when I play that version for the first time. So so yeah, that's actually one thing this version thankfully fixes though, is that the camera control is now mapped to the right analog stick. So so that way there I would have a much easier time doing that, because I know most of the other games use the right analog stick for camera controls, so this is actually one thing that it's definitely improved upon for this version. Which, I mean, they actually did use that in KH2, well at least in Vanilla KH2 and onwards, but yeah, they actually thought to go ahead and map it to the right analog stick. So that's actually one thing that they did better. And actually, for some more button controls, although I guess because of that, then the selection for the command menu will just be mapped to the directional pad, or the D-pad. So that means I had to take out my thumb from the left analog stick and just select it from there. I actually just heard a car honking their horn. I'm not sure if it's just one of my next door neighbors, or if it's, well, it can't be me though, because I don't really see anybody on the drive-thru, but it's probably got to be one of my next door neighbors. So I don't know. I mean, I didn't even make any orders at all or anything like that, so, actually what I'm doing right now is, yeah, I had to, use a potion to grow bigger, and then that way they actually get this opening. If you, like, after you, get this, grandfather block to insert itself out, they can actually push it aside, and then, it'll take us back over to the Tea Party Garden. That takes us over to the balcony of that house. Unfortunately, though, I had to go all the way back over to, through the through Lotus Forest first, and then through the Queen's Castle, because unfortunately it's actually it's actually a one-way door, so I can't really go back. Because I guess that's the thing for Wonderland. Well, yeah, see, that's how I cut it over there, because I had to make those necessary jump cuts. And then we're gonna go back over to the entrance, because actually one thing you can do, like once you go back to the entrance, then you actually there's gonna be some Heartless up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back over there, so that way there I can get some XP. And that save point was over there as well, but yeah, once the Heartless appear, well, there's a save point. The save point actually disappear because the game actually really wants you to fight the Heartless first before you do anything else. They even disabled the pause menu as well. So yeah, there we have it here. So yeah, I just want to get some XP. So anyway, let's see, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I think I've already explained more about the camera controls for like between Final Mix, well, between this version and the vanilla version. And the other thing that was changed was the reaction commands, which actually was a mechanic that was introduced in Kingdom Hearts 2. But I'm talking like where they actually brought over here in this version, where like another thing that did not age well in Vanilla KH1 is that whenever you interact with certain objects, the interaction button is going to be, it actually would be mapped down to the very bottom of the command menu, and so you have to go down to the bottom, or just like select where it is with the control pad, and so so you have to select that kind of panel there on the command menu. So yeah, because of that, then you have to just stop there, and then just have to select all the way down. Because like there's because all the commands that were just beyond the command menu and stuff. Oh yeah, we got the more AP. So yeah, you have to just just take out the control stick and just have to select on the command menu to get to where the interaction button is, or the interaction key rather. In this version though, they actually thankfully omitted that completely, and so now it's actually mapped to the triangle button, so that whenever you get to certain objects to interact with, like let's say for instance the save point, then like for example, in Vanilla KH1, it actually be mapped to the bottom part of the command menu, so you have to select all the way down. In this version, it's actually mapped to a triangle button, so you actually see where the reaction command is, where you have to press triangle, and then that's where all the things are. That's where the things will be in this version. So that's actually one thing that I'm especially thankful for in this version. Like a lot of things that that final mix did better. Well, I would say in like in 1.5 HD. So yeah, that's a bunch of the stuff I'm really glad they actually fixed though, because that would have driven some people crazy. Oh, not to mention, there's also one more thing that I didn't get to say at all. In Vanilla KH1, you can't skip cutscenes at all. You so let's say let's say if you fuck up at some bosses and so you have to go back to them, you have to rewatch the same cutscenes over and over again. Because like if you try to pause, then there's no option to skip cutscenes. You have to go through watching them. This version, thank God, they actually thought of this, and so they actually gave you the option to skip the cutscenes. So that's actually something I'm so glad they did. I mean, this is already fixed since Kingdom Hearts 2, but in this version, they actually thought of this, and so they added the skip cutscene option when you pause the game. So yeah, that's actually something I'm so glad about. Because that would also drive me crazy, just having to rewatch the same cutscenes over and over after dying to a boss. Speaking of bosses, here we have the Trickmaster, the boss of Wonderland. So yeah, with the Trickmaster, well actually, let me just say this though. The Trickmaster has given a major palette swap here, because in Vanilla KH1, he was, the color scheme for Trickmaster is red and black. This version gave him this pink and green and purple color scheme. Yeah, such a major palette swap here. I mean, at first they kind of went for the red and black color scheme because one of his attacks is that he'll come over to where the fireplace is, and so he will light up his matches there that he's carrying here. And so I guess that's when he uses the fire-based attacks, but that's only just one of his attacks, so I guess that probably might be the reason why they gave him the palette swaps in this version. But yeah, that's like some kind of a major overhaul there. So yeah, so what the Trickmaster is going to do is that he'll his little sticks there, or I guess what looks like matches, to try to attack you. But he'll also use that to use fire attacks as well. And then he'll just walk around here, and the legs are actually probably the most deflective here. And so you want to attack the main body is what you want to do. You can actually try to get a better range to get to her, or just try to jump over to it if you would just jump for the table. But that's actually the tricky thing to do though, because it's too high to reach at the moment. And what you can see here is that the table's actually spinning right now, so it's actually much harder to try to grab onto and to stay on top of the table. But if you actually hit the Trickmaster enough times, or actually when it's using its certain attack, then it'll actually get stunned for a bit there, and then it'll also drop a HP over the process, and so that'll give you a better chance to attack it. And what I did beforehand was that I actually equipped the, well, not only did I equip the potions myself, but I also gave Donald and Goofy the potions themselves as well. But the problem is, though, is that they don't really have much of a priority, though. It's like no matter which party member there is, they'll actually heal that said party member when they're low on health. So it's not going to be just Sora, but like if Donald runs low on health, then Goofy will just get that potion over to Donald. But they'll still thankfully just get the potions over to Sora whenever he's low on health. And this is actually where he's using the fire-based attacks here. This is actually the hardest part about this boss, is that, well, I actually, well, unfortunately I don't really have dodge roll equipped. I should have gotten that, but I do equip dodge roll in the second part. Those fireballs that you shoot at will chase after you, no matter what. Well, oh wait, I actually did equip dodge roll, never mind. I guess I didn't really pay much attention, but yeah, those fireballs will home in on you, and they are very hard to dodge as well. And I hate to say this, but I kind of got my ass handed to me in this one. So yeah, which you'll see a little bit later. Yeah, mainly because those fireballs are so hard to dodge, and also because I tried to use a potion while I was low on health, but then I got hit by the fireball while I was in the process. Like I said, this is actually one of my biggest pet peeves in Kingdom Hearts, is that, you know, you try to use a potion while the boss is attacking you, and then yeah, that's how I died there. And so that was how I died, because like that's one thing I hate the most, is that is that, like, you actually die while you're in the middle of healing yourself. I hate that shit. I hate it so much. So there's my second attempt there. And so now the Trickmaster is down. Oh, and by the way, folks, the name of this track that I was playing right now, the name of this track is Shredding Dark Cloud, and it's actually a pretty good track as well. Like, especially how tense it would be when just fighting some giant enemy Heartless. And yeah, so now the Trickmaster is down, and so it's releasing a heart. I wonder if that's supposed to be the heart of the Queen of Hearts. I don't know. That's probably the only thing. And we got the Ifrit's Horn.
What a racket. How's a doorknob to get any sleep?
What was that? You hear that? Sound like something closed. Ooh, what is this here? This gummy ain't like the others, no sir. Okay, I'll hold on to it. And we got the Navi G piece, which is supposed to be some sort of a gummy piece or something like that. Splendid, you're quite the hero. If you're looking for Alice, she's not here. She's gone, off with the shadows into darkness. No. Let's go back to our gummy ship. We might find her in another world. We've got to go to a save point to return to our ship. And I do apologize for my rather horrible impressions of Donald and Goofy. Well, Goofy I could actually do a little better though, but never so much with Donald. Oh, and we got teleport here. So that's basically what Sora and the gang do in these Disney worlds. That they find the keyhole, and so they lock it, and so the worlds are safe from the Heartless. And so there's gonna be no more Heartless fight. And so that is it with Wonderland. We're done with this one, and so now we're gonna go and explore more. Well, another world to explore. And this is where we'll end things off here. So next time on Let's Play Kingdom Hearts, we are going to leave Wonderland and head over to the next Disney World. So until next time, see you guys later.